Recording? All right, this is a special meeting of the Airport Advisory Committee. It is June 3rd, 2025, 10:30 in the morning. We are meeting at Ocean Shores Library. Let's do roll call. See, John Arnold has resigned, so Bill Capron.
Present.
Jerry Davis.
Here.
Ron DeVore. Ron is absent. And that's it, because, well, John Arnold, but Stuart Green has also resigned. So do we have a quorum? I think we do.
We do.
All right. Next item, approval of meeting agenda. Before we do that, a couple of things on the agenda. I went through it. And I think the thing that stood out most that I just wanted to verify actually happened. At our last meeting, we spoke about
You're talking about the minutes or the agenda?
the agenda. Can we do that?
So the agenda is just the agenda topics is all you need to approve.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, okay, all right. Agenda topics, approval?
Make a motion to approve the agenda topics.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, agenda's good.
Now, if you're talking about the meetings, that's your next thing,
Okay,
or the minutes, I mean. Minutes.
thank you. Okay. Yeah, that was it. Approval of minutes. Yeah, before we get into the approval of the minutes, I just wanted to verify that at our meeting, our last meeting, we discussed the perimeter fence, and it was decided that the perimeter fence be that we don't need one, and that money be put into the AWAS 3 instead of the AWAS 2. And I believe, Scott, did you get a letter back from Century saying that?
We have already moved forward on that. So I have made that request with both Century and the FAA, and they've agreed that that is a reasonable request.
Okay,
so
good.
moving forward on that.
All right, good. Anything else on the minutes?
I think I mentioned last time that I was gonna put a thermometer on the pilot's lounge building that would be in view of the camera, so that if you pulled up the camera, you get a temperature too, and I did do that. So,
Okay, good.
so it's not quite in focus because of the focal length of the camera, but it's good enough that you can tell what it means.
All right, approval of minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, minutes are good. Okay, yeah, you keep us on track here, Nicole. All right, announcements. Any announcements?
If there's none listed there, you have none.
Okay. Old business.
The only thing regarding old business, I received the update from Bill this morning about the rotating beacon lights that still aren't rotating, and the Windsock lights are inoperable, and I'll check that with Public Works.
Ah, good, okay, all right.
And I will also get this, the green folder that I was given this afternoon, things that we no longer need. We can throw this away, dispose of it.
Yeah, and yeah, there's some toxic waste in there too, so.
Some old paint.
Yeah, it's old paint.
Yeah, okay, just don't call toxic waste in a public meeting.
Well, that's what I assume. I
Yeah,
just looked
yeah.
at it, oh, it's old paint, so.
If you drink it, it would be toxic.
Yes. Don't drink it.
Okay.
All right. Okay, we'll dispose of that properly.
Yeah, there were a couple of other things that I wanted to add for old business. That red collection box that's sitting on the on that, what do you call that, three-sided bulletin board. It's got a combination lock on it
Mhm.
with letters instead of numbers. Anybody know the code? I do. You do? All right, well, you can
You have
whisper,
everything.
you can whisper it to me after the meeting. All right, well, we'll, action item to me then, I will take a look at that box, we'll open it up and
There's $4 in it or something.
Yeah, 50 cents. See if perhaps as an item for our next meeting, after we've determined what's in it, we can figure out what to do with that red box, whether we keep it or not.
Yeah, I put it out there years ago. I put airport support donations on it. And at one meeting, it was brought up the fact that to do that, we'd have to form a 501(c)(3) corporation to be a nonprofit and all that. And I said, what if I take off airport and just put donations on it? Oh yeah, you can do that. So that's why it just says donations on it. Okay, so I've used the money out of that to pay for gas for the lawnmower that when I go and for fertilizer and for, just incidentals, a thermometer for that's what I've used the money. And it does not collect a lot.
All right, so could we put that on the agenda for next meeting? That we need to decide what we're gonna do with that collection. Okay, and lastly, under old business, according to the new code, yeah, we need a secretary, and I think Jerry, it looks like you're taking notes.
I thought you'd appointed a secretary at the last
I
meeting.
think we
Yeah.
had.
He said I would do it this meeting.
Oh, it's only, it's only,
He said before the meeting, he said, am I doing it all the time? And I said, I don't know. He said, let me get some paper.
I make a motion that we make Jerry secretary.
You can't do action at this meeting
Oh,
on anything
you guys
that's
are
not on
killing
the
me,
agenda.
All right, we need Jerry to volunteer.
Okay, well, a secretary and a vice chair. I mean, I'm the chair, we need a vice chair. Can we assign those now?
You cannot do, so it's not listed on the agenda. You're technically not even supposed to like bring it up
Okay,
because it's a special meeting.
okay.
We can add it to the agenda to do for the next meeting and then not an issue.
Okay, let's do that. Okay.
I know your meetings are a little hard because you don't have actual scheduled days and times.
Okay, that was old business. Was that new business? Oh, new business is the discussion on, which is why we're here,
Yeah.
the 2025 Airport Appreciation Day planning. All right, well, to that end, I dug out the lessons learned from last year's
Hey, Can I ask
appreciation
one,
days.
can I ask one thing here?
Yeah,
We have a couple cars parked at the airport that belong to pilots that fly in from Moses Lake and Spokane. And I talked to one of the pilots the other day and he wanted to know if he could park his truck inside the gate. And I said, I've been told before that, no, that's private use of public facilities. You can't do that. But I don't know if that,
I don't know if it's that or it's that the FAA has requested to us in the past that we not keep vehicles inside the gate.
okay,
I can find out.
okay. The one suggestion I made is perhaps he could rent a hangar spot and park his car on the spot. So he was open to that idea.
Okay. I'll check with our airport consultants, because I don't think it would be about the parking space per se. I mean, the convention center has the same issue, right? It's a public space and people park there, when they come.
But that's outside.
Yeah,
This is Inside.
inside the, I have a feeling it's more for the FAA's
Yeah.
requirements than.
Well, many years ago, I got chewed out by a city manager, chief of police guy that was a big fish in a small pond. He was stretching his gills.
We're beyond the chewing out stage at this point.
Yeah, I know.
We just want to do things right.
Right.
Yeah, good. All right.
okay, the last meeting, we set the date for the Appreciation Day as August 23rd.
Yes.
I wonder, I'm looking at our lessons learned from last year, the very first item on timing. This lesson, just a quick recap here. This lessons learned touches on the timing, set up procedures and advertising. It's got elements on safety and communications and who the exhibitors are, the food trucks, NOTAMs, and action item list. So it's got a lot of stuff. But of course, I think probably the most important element is the timing. And last year we said, quote, later into September probably would be better weather. Do we want to stick with our August 23rd or push it further into September?
We do tend to get better weather in September. Because we don't have, because you do run the double risk of August in August when it's just too hot inland.
Yeah,
And it's just foggy the entire time. Later in September would probably mitigate that. I can't guarantee it, of course, but for the most part, we do tend to get our best weather in late September, early October.
yeah, we do.
After Labor Day, the kids are back in school.
True.
That takes away your tourist crowd.
Yeah, it does.
Some of the weekend, they start.
This is the Saturday before Labor Day. we've
Yeah.
Done this.
What do you think is the best time?
Did we know what, like, that's not on our lessons learned list. Do we know how many actual out of town tourists?
We have no idea. We have no statistics, no.
I didn't think so either.
We had 2 out of town people fly in last year, one from Spokane.
But they're not flying in with kids, right? They're adults for the most part.
They're adults, yeah. I don't know.
So,
if kids are-
well,
That's why I'm thinking, I don't know if I didn't see a lot of children out there, so if they're adults, they're gonna be flying in. Then that wouldn't really impact it if we moved it to September. Of course, it's entirely your decision.
it might, the adults might be back to work too. So it's, but that was the reason that this date was picked at the very beginning was because the week before Labor Day, kids wouldn't be in school yet. Labor Day's the unofficial end of summer. As far as weather, we've probably had good weather 75% of the time.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
on the other
last year,
hand,
we had a little bit of.
last year we had a little bit of rain coming through. We had a low ceiling. We only had 2 airplanes that could get through. It was,
Yeah.
it was
Well, we
marginal.
hadn't had a fly-in for 5 years either,
Yeah.
so.
I don't know, it seems to me that pushing it into September might be a better idea, and that kids, I don't know. What do you think, Jerry?
Well, I'm open to try it. The weather, you're right. The weather is better in September. You may not have as big of a turnout. And if we did, and it didn't turn out, well, then we would have to change it again for 26. But
The thing is, an airport appreciation days should have airplanes at it.
right.
And that means the airplanes are gonna fly in here. And they can't if the weather's bad, which it is pretty predictably, on that date. I just think pushing it out 3 or 4 weeks might be better.
Well, my vote is to keep it the same date, we haven't had one for 5 years and we didn't really get the word out, which you pointed out in your, what we did right and what we did wrong, so, people want to change it, I'm up for the change, but I think we should at least try it this year on the same day. I know the Olympia Airport used to do theirs on Father's Day all the time. Then one year they changed the date and everybody still showed up on Father's Day. So, it was,
Okay.
so.
All right, well. I'll make a motion, then we just keep it the same date, August 23rd.
Saturday before Labor Day. is what it's been.
All right, is that what it's gonna be? Anybody second that? I made the motion. Can you second that, Jerry?
Yeah, I'll second that.
In favor?
Aye,
Aye.
August 23rd.
All right, so still the 23rd. Setup. Last year we started at 10. That seemed to work for everybody. Should we keep that the same?
I think 10 was a good time.
Yeah, it worked fine.
Well, that's what I thought as well. Give us enough time to set up the cones, do everything before people really start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the lesson learned there was that it was windy and those, remember how those pictures kept blowing off the eaves? All right, so who's gonna have who's in charge of that one? Who's got the zip tie action?
Yeah.
Well, I certainly have a bag of zip ties. That's not an issue. We could, if we want, we could move that display into my hangar. And, I put my airplane out on the ramp and then we can we can put the display in my hangar and people could come in there.
Well, that's,
What did the easels look like? I can't remember. Do you own them? Were they owned by the city? I can't remember who had
Sarah
them.
showed up with them.
I know, that's why I can't recall like where they came from. Because the other thing we could do is we could get that semi-permanent, put like plexiglass over the pictures themselves. So if there is strong wind, they won't blow off, but also protect them from rain.
Well, I think Bill's offer here of, setting up at his hangar, just kind of solves all the problems.
Okay,
You know,
All right.
Wind, rain, yeah,
yeah, okay, that makes sense.
okay. Okay, so, can, Nicole or Scott get that back to Sarah that, we're gonna set up in, Bill's hangar?
Let me find out where we got the tripods that held them.
Okay. All right, now we come to one of the bigger ones, advertising. Let's see what we did last year. We announced on the local radio and we distributed a trifold that Sarah made. And I think she still has that.
I'll use the same brochure.
Yeah, just change the dates on it.
I think I might have included an updated one on.
I think
The
maybe.
agenda?
Yes, you did. Yep, you're ahead of
I
us.
went right back and updated with the information that I knew.
Okay.
There you go. Now we're glad we didn't change the date. You don't have to remake it. There you go.
It wasn't easy though.
All right, well, we can go ahead with this, this same trifold brochure then. Good.
Yeah, looks good.
Thank you, Nicole.
You're welcome.
All right, let's see what else we got here. Ron was to speak at the radio, but well, that didn't pan out.
I can always mention it on the radio because I'm on monthly, so.
Oh, okay.
The XRO went out of business.
They were purchased by another,
Yeah.
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 Okay, and there's a bunch of bullet points there, Scott, if you need something to,
Yeah, and also I can submit those bullet points to the DJs at KOSW and they can just announce it periodically.
yeah, okay.
So,
Good. All right, now a couple of lessons that we did learn there. We didn't contact the Washington Pilots Association or General Aviation News, but we probably should have done. I can take that action to get a hold of those two publications. And brochure needs to be done earlier. The brochure is done. Local EAA chapters. The EAA chapter for Great Harbor is gone out of business. Yes.
A lifetime member, but I'm just a member at large. I support them, but I have no interest in building them.
Well, I'm a
I
member
can
too.
request the Kent Covington S-36 airport EAA chapter, put it in their newsletter, and they could probably put it in the Auburn and maybe Puyallup also. They're all kind of connected.
Could you take care of that one, Jerry?
Sure.
Okay. Safety plan. There were no lessons learned for that one, but I think we should do just a quick review of the safety plan, which is printed out here. So obviously Ocean Shores Fire Department is going to be there. We'll pretty much do the same stuff we did last year. We'll make copies of this plan and distribute it to everyone during the setup. It's got the times that it is active, 9 o'clock to 4:30. Fire department is going to be the central command area. The yellow vests, will the fire department provide those again?
We can certainly talk to the fire department about that.
There's 3, maybe 4 orange vests with stripes in the electrical building in that cabinet.
Are they moldy?
No, no.
That
Doesn't like our
cabinet.
cabinet.
Well, that cabinet is literally falling apart.
It's got wet at some point in its life and it's pressed board, you know?
Yeah.
We can't afford a new one if we need to get a cabinet, a press board cabinet, a new one.
I mean, it's become a science experiment. It-
Like $50 on Amazon, it can be done.
All right.
And once the bacteria take over.
Yeah. Okay, so the fire department then
Yep.
is going to provide,
I'll speak with Chief Ritter and Chief Mandela.
Do you still have those Hummers?
They do have one. We do.
Yeah,
Yep, it's out on the dunes. So
be a
you,
good thing for a display.
all right, I'm gonna ask that.
all right, and they're also going to provide, I'm sure they will, they've got their radios, two-way radios.
Mhm.
2 of the yellow vested pilot, shall be pilots and carry radios. I've got a radio, I'll bring it. Did you have the other one, Bill?
I brought a radio last year. I didn't really need it, but I've got another radio I can bring.
Okay,
It's sitting in my hangar.
Dead battery storage.
okay,
You
thanks,
keep your
Jared.
dead batteries in your flashlights.
And the cones, setting up the cone line. So fire department is gonna have a stack of cones.
It's actually, those cover public works.
Okay.
And then we just all put them out jointly.
Okay, park table is to be tied down for helicopter blast, and we've got a map to, which you can also make plenty of copies of for everybody. Okay, well, I think our safety plan looks pretty good to me. I remember last year we had during the setup at 9 o'clock, 9:15, we all gathered around and we had a safety meeting where we discussed all of this stuff. So, yeah, I think our safety is pretty complete. Communications, we've covered that. Now, let's get down to exhibitors. RC flyers. Now, I know that actually we're going through our action item list here. But we'll go through it one more time that, yeah, okay. Let's start at item 3, Beach Boys Car Club. And then we'll go down through this action item list because we're mostly now down to exhibitors. So what we're going to do is we'll go through these tasks and assign who is going to take care of each one. So Beach Boys Car Club, who wants to contact them?
If I get contact information, I'll call them.
I don't remember who did that last year.
How was Sarah actually? Was it Sarah or even the mayor?
I don't know.
It was Sarah. It was on last year's.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Think Sarah could do that again this year? It's
Um,
always easy to assign an. action to
I
somebody.
can do it if you give me the contact details. I just don't have them.
Okay, I'll get the contact
Okay,
information.
yeah, I'll be happy to contact him. And you know, the mayor may have that too. So, I'll ask him. He tends to know all the car people in town. So.
Okay, the,
Do you have median signs?
Yes,
Okay.
Do we have to say, you know, for those that are just interested in casually going out there, directional signs for the airport itself? Like, let's say you're at the beach and you just want to go check out Airport Appreciation Day and you haven't been out there before. Do we have anything that says like airport this way or?
yeah, that's a good point. Very good point. I don't, not to my knowledge.
Maybe we should make those for Airport Appreciation Day and have them say like Airport Appreciation Day, Ocean Shores Airport and direct them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Food, like something like, food, fun.
yeah, I mean, it's all well and good to have the median signs,
Yeah,
but if you don't know where the airport is,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, well, as of last year, the event sign is, well, it says designed and need to order.
No, we have it, the big
Mhm.
banner that we made that we put out by the gate.
Yeah, that's
Put it up
rolled,
by the gate.
it's rolled up in the pilot lounge, I think. Okay, so the event sign is done. That's why these are all green. The median signs are done, correct? All right, and I think we need to add an item 6.5. Directional signs. Nicole, do you redo this matrix here?
I can, yeah.
Okay, can we add one in between 6 and 7? Or between 5 and 6 for directional signs?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Historical photo display, and that's all done. Where are those?
They are, I believe, still in Sarah's office.
I think they
Back
might.
in the box.
Okay. All right, car museum, that'd be Ed Duncan's car museum,
mhm.
and I can call Ed. He brought his ice cream truck last year, which was kind of cool. It was, oh, no, it was his, it was an ice cream truck, but he also had a Coca-Cola display.
That was what it was, yeah, from
Yeah.
like an old
Yeah,
1930s
he's
or
giving
something.
away free bottles of
Free Cokes,
Coca-Cola,
yeah.
so, yeah, I know he doesn't live around here anymore. I think he's up in Auburn somewhere,
Oh, huh, I didn't know that.
but he, yeah, he might come.
His sons are running the paving business.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got a big operation in Auburn. He said that for years, maybe longer than Ocean Shores.
Huh.
It's actually kind of edgy.
What was number 8 here? Contact WPA. Is that the same as the Washington Pilots Association?
That's what it would sound like to me.
Well, that one is me to contact the WPA. Number 9, advertisement. Last year, that was, Sarah took that one and it was completed. So I'm not sure what she did. But whatever she did, she can do it again. Number 10. List on that PNW. Any idea what that is, Bill?
At W, it's flights around the Pacific Northwest.
And again, Sarah took that one
That's
last
their,
year.
that's their Facebook page.
I don't know, Scott, how many of these can we just give to Sarah? mean,
Honestly, I would just, the ones that are contacts, I'll take. The things like signs, where the signs are, since she still has those, I would give those to her. But anything like contact, that I don't even understand, like 10, I don't know.
Flights around the Pacific Northwest.
We just have to list it. We just say contact them and say, put this up on your website or put this on your. I assume they have a website or a Facebook page, or that's how they do that, right?
I assume they do. It's something I'm not familiar with.
Let me just look.
Flights around the Pacific North, isn't that one of those things, Gary, where you go in the pilot's lounge and you stamp like a passport?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I assume they've got a Facebook page.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Okay, there was discussion last year and recently about Toledo skydiving and whether or not they would show up whether or not they needed a,
Yes, they do, and I just joined the group, just so you know. Although I have to answer some questions. I might need your expertise on this. Please explain your connection to the aviation in North America. We won't do this right now because it looks like they have a number, but I'll just say a city administrator manager of airport appreciation day.
yeah.
And they were weather dependent last year. They told me they'd be out, but they wouldn't know until the day of the event what the weather was. So whether that was why they didn't come or whether they just got busy. They run a pretty busy operation in Toledo.
Can you contact them again, Jerry? Just let them know that we're doing it.
I can, or did I hear Scott say he was going to?
He's doing the flights around the Pacific Northwest. He's gonna put something on their webpage.
Oh, okay. I can
was the-
contact them.
Yeah.
We
No,
won't
Scott
get
is
the
doing
same.
the action item number 10, and Jerry, if you could take 11, which is contacting skydiving.
I can do that. It'll
So
be
I'll
the
take
same thing
8
as,
and 10.
say that again.
I'm gonna take item 8 and item 10.
Okay. Issue a NOTAM.
That's Sarah and I.
Now, last year, the NOTAM had a time associated with it for the RC Flyers. I think, did we actually shut the field down? I'm not sure. Or was it just a warning?
I think you had to shut it down because they were fine. You guys said it would be better to just not have anybody come in for them to. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't recall that exactly happening that way. I'm trying to think of how we did it.
Cause they had said they can land them really quickly if somebody is coming in. I remember that.
That's kind of more what I remember. I remember them out there
A
flying.
warning.
Yeah, they were flying a lot, pretty much
Yeah.
all day,
Uh-huh.
but there was nobody coming in because the weather was so bad.
Right.
And we had the radios listening anyway, so perhaps the NOTAM could be reworded as just a
Caution.
caution, yeah.
Just like, mowing in all quadrants, that kind of a,
Yeah,
that's, you
Okay.
see those notices all the time.
Ham Radio Club, let's see, that's number 13, Sarah took that one as well,
If I get their contact details, I can do that.
no idea.
I can definitely do the next one. Pause, but like if you could remind me why we just want them there to advertising, or was there another reason?
Ham Radio Club?
No.
Pause.
Pause.
One year they came out and they brought a couple dogs out just for,
Like an adoption type event.
yeah.
So, okay, so I'll just reach out to them and say, hey, we're having this opportunity. If you want to just come out there and showcase
Yeah.
some animals
So
and showcase what you
I
do.
think it depends on how many dogs they have they're trying to get rid of,
I think what I'll do is I'll just drive out there and tell them rather than call.
Yeah.
That might be easier, so.
Yeah.
All right, and on item number 13, the Ham Radio Club, I'll take that one to get the,
Okay.
to get these contact information to you.
They didn't show
15.
last year, did they? Any reason why they didn't show?
The Ham Radio Club, I thought they were there. I don't remember for sure.
Well, I don't know. I had a friend that came just particularly because they were going to be there and he couldn't find them anywhere.
Maybe they didn't show.
Hmm. Concessions, number 15. Yeah, last year Ron took that one.
I also talked to Hot Mamas last year and I'm happy to do that again. That's an easy task for me. So I'm happy to do that. And I can do 17 and 18 where we're at it.
Okay, regarding the other concessions, we had, we had the.
You had, was it, what's it called? Black Bear? What's the hamburger plane? The Grizzly.
Grizzly Den.
Grizzly Den, that's what it is, yeah. Grizzly Den. I could reach out to them as well. Was there some lesson we learned? I think, one of the things about the food truck, because you have this mentioned here about the goat's head, there's really nothing that can be done about the goat's head. And it's like,
All you can do is go out there and pick them. I will go out and spend some time.
it's intractable. But what I would suggest is we just park the food trucks closer to the concrete or the
Yeah.
asphalt on that.
Yeah,
So
and that
people-
way, because that gets into one of our lessons learned here is that. Yeah, where they were parked last year, they were blocking the airport cameras.
And they were too far out, and so you really did have to walk out into like a field of goat's head to get
Yeah.
there. So it's just better to park them closer to the asphalt.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so let's just put that on lessons learned. So do we want Grizzly Den as well? I'm happy to reach out to them, okay.
Yeah.
Quickly on the goat head part, did you look at they call it a goat head roller? Those look kind of interesting to me. They don't eliminate the weeds, but they remove the seeds, and they've got small ones you can push by hand, or they've got larger ones you can pull with a tractor, and they're advertised to be quite efficient.
If that works, that would be interesting.
That's probably a year after year after year plan to keep pulling the seeds and.
Oh, you'd have to do it when they go to seed. It'd be probably July and August. But if you get rid of the seeds, and those seeds, I'm sorry, I've been doing a bit of studying that those seeds can lay dormant for 10 years.
Yep.
So-
Yep.
Talk about a devil weed.
You know, it really is. So this is interesting. I hadn't seen this particular kind of
On
model.
a roller, it's just a roller that picks up the.
Yeah, it's $295.
And then
Probably like microfiber or something, drags it.
It literally, it's kind of like a lint roller.
Yeah.
For goat heads, it just, supposedly they.
You push it like a hand pushed lawnmower.
Exactly, but if we could, obviously for the airport, that wouldn't work, you'd be out there for a month, but for a, 50 by 50
Yeah.
yard portion of the airport, you could.
Yeah.
Well, they make large ones too, but they get more expensive.
Okay, well, we could also look at this for like the dog park. Let me, talk to Public Works.
Great idea.
And actually the community club, if it does work, they might want one for a couple of their parks, because I know the one that's down by Perkins Pond, that place where the pool is, gets some of the worst goat heads I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's like a field of goat head down there. So if it works, they may be interested in that as well. Let me,
Yeah, so, especially if you could do it a couple times a year when they're all blossoming.
Right. Mhm.
You might eliminate them.
Yeah. Well, I eliminate, but I think they mitigate. I think it's the key here.
Yeah.
I can get
It
70%.
took me 4 years to get them out of my lawn. That included watering.
Hi there, I'm in an airport.
And
meeting,
they
but I
keep
would
coming
love to call
back.
you back in a few minutes. Is that fine?
All right.
Thank you much. I appreciate it.
Anything else on concessions or goat's head there, Jerry?
No.
All right. Let's moving on. Item number 16, Young Eagle flights. Last year,
It was removed by the committee, but I don't know why. I don't remember why.
It's I used to do them, and in my world, it's an insurance issue.
Okay.
EAA I think they come up with $1 million of liability insurance, and you have to have your own $1 million of liability insurance. But you kill an airplane full of kids and $2 million ain't enough, so.
No, it's not.
I quit doing them.
Okay, that makes sense.
So airplane insurance is about the worst insurance out there. You gotta have it, and you can't buy enough, and it costs too much. Oh,
well, that's what you get for flying a retractable gear airplane.
doesn't matter what kind of airplane you're in if you crash it.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so Young Eagle flights, that's removed. 17 and 18, police department.
I've
fire
got it.
department.
I've got that.
You taking notes on this, Nicole?
I am taking notes.
Okay, thank you. EAA participation. I think, didn't you take that?
Yeah, I'll get the word out. I'll try Chehalis and Olympia too.
And number 20 as well for you, Jerry, same thing.
Say that again, another what?
Item number 20, the Shelton EAA.
Okay, Shelton doesn't have one. Which is
Oh,
surprising.
okay.
I'm shocked. They do not have an EAA chapter, or they did not last year.
Is that Sanderson Field?
Yes.
Probably, we'll just, let's remove item 20 because it's included in item 19.
True.
21, RC Flyers.
I can reach out to them.
National Guard, number 22.
I believe Stuart made the comment at our last meeting that there's really no way to get through to them anymore. It just doesn't seem to work. So you'd almost need an active National Guard helicopter pilot on our group to get something going.
You ever considered, just out of curiosity, calling like Air Force recruiting and see if they want to come out here? Like,
No. Walk into the
If
recruiting
we can get,
office.
if we can get recruiting out here, you know, it might prompt them bringing a airplane. out.
that's what I was thinking. That was my thought. If
Yeah.
we contacted the Air Force recruiter's office, they might be willing to bring something out here.
Yeah, I
Make it
think
look
that's a
good.
great idea.
Okay, I'll do that.
Somebody could squeeze an F-16 into 3,000 feet.
No, you're not gonna get that, but you could get a National Guard or an Army helicopter. No.
All right, I'll reach out and see what their thoughts are.
Last year I had somebody ask me what it'd take to get a ride in that Life Flight helicopter. I looked at him, I said, you'd have to have a heart attack and hit the dirt right now. And give you a ride.
Hopefully you wrote a $75 check that made you get right before that happened too.
Yes.
Do they take the check on the spot? I don't know.
Now, last year, Mike Mandela took the action to get a hold of Life Flight.
I will ask him to do that again. I'll reassign that to Mike and I'll check in with him on that.
And
25's already been done, right?
I'm looking at,
Or,
yeah, 25 is done. 24, Airlift Northwest.
Yeah, those are Life Flight and Airlift.
yeah, I'll talk to Mike. Yeah, they're rivals, yeah.
Food trucks, we already discussed that. You know, 26, the food trucks, and number 15, concessions. Are they kind of the same thing?
They're exactly the same thing. I think it just got listed because one was originally listed as Hot Mamas and one was listed as Grizzly Den and they just got mixed. So yeah, we can merge those into one.
Yeah.
But those are the two that I'll reach out to. Unless there's a third one that anyone wants.
Well, last year, you know, the VFW was gonna come in, and then when they found out we're gonna have food trucks, and they bailed out.
Right. So I guess that's the only decision we have to make. Would we rather have the VFW or would we rather have food trucks? I think food trucks probably lends itself better, but
I think the food trucks are more of a crowd draw.
that's what I would think too. Yeah, if it was just a local event, then the VFW would be better, but if we're trying to bring in tourists and pull people off the beach and have them come in, then
Yeah.
food trucks are a way to do that.
All right, moving on down, number 27, the handheld radios, that's complete. I've got one, Jerry's got one. That's done. Number 28, safety vests.
I'll just take that again, and I'll take 29 as well from Sarah. I'll contact LeMay.
And traffic cones, we already spoke about that.
Yep, that's Public Works.
Okay, well, I think, did you get all of that, Nicole? Okay, good, good.
And I've got it written down if you get questions, Nicole. That's
Oh,
pretty good.
All right, now our map here. Have a quick look at the map. It seemed to work last year. I can't think of anything to change or.
Yeah, the only thing I'd do is, like I said, put the food trucks closer to the police and fire displays.
Yeah,
And that's really it, like.
yeah. Okay. see where we're at on our,
Parking, we're gonna have, people that are airport committee members, people that are in charge of the setup and everything. We're gonna have them park inside somewhere
yes, so that's,
to leave the outside the gate parking open for visitors.
yeah, that was one of the lessons from last year. People involved with setup should park on the apron or somewhere else. So yes.
Yeah.
We'll do that. Okay, back to our agenda here. For Appreciation Day planning. We got our actions set up. Anything else that we need to discuss as far as actions and pacing actions? It seemed to me that the getting the trifold brochures and the signs made early, because they're the pacing items.
Yeah, we can't have those too soon.
Yeah.
So we just have to find the trifolds, right?
What's are you looking for the stance, is that what you're talking about?
That's what I think we're talking about, right? Or are we talking about something else?
Or the-
It went in as trifold brochures, but is that the same as,
I think that's what you were calling
I think it is.
Yeah.
them.
Okay, well, let's get those printed so that then I can distribute them around the local airports when I'm flying around.
Can you take that one, Nicole? Thanks.
How many you wanting?
50.
I'd leave 50 just at the library alone. I'd make at least 100 of them. Oh, yeah, but I like to put them up there, so they're just there.
All right. Okay, I think we're done. Jerry, anything else on the Appreciation Day discussion?
No, I think we covered it.
All right, under new business, item number 4, airport liaison report. That's
Okay, so I only have 2 items. One was very simple, just to let you know that it has to happen. The FAA wanted all the money that we have spent, that we received out of COVID funding. They needed those documents and those invoice numbers and reimbursements submitted for those federal awards. And that has all been done. It was not exactly a pleasant process, but it was completed. And then an item that is important, Century West brought to our attention that they have been our consultant on the 5-year plan for the airport. That was done in December of 2020. It will expire at the end of this year, but we're still moving forward on our AWAS and our NEPA environmental approvals that have to be completed at the end of the year. So given that timeline, we really need to put out a reselection for an airport consultant out for bid in June or July. I'll be honest, I've been extremely pleased with Melanie and her team at Century West. They've been able to turn around everything I've asked them to turn around or answer my questions almost immediately. But I just need to get that out there and wanted you to know that.
okay. Sounds good to me. Yeah, for the couple of times that I have met with them, they seem to be on the ball, doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, absolutely. They've always answered any technical questions I have, or helped me submit paperwork within 24 hours. So
Good.
I'm very pleased with them, but I need to get that back out then soon because they're going to be helping us with our capital plan.
Yeah,
Our 5-year plan. So,
okay, good.
all right. And that's really all I have. Nothing else has changed since our last agenda.
All right, thanks, Scott. Okay, lastly, our future meeting date. I don't think it's gonna take too long to polish off these action items. August 23rd is coming down on us.
Mhm.
Let's see, what is today, June 3rd? July, August. We should meet at least another 2 times. What do you think, 2 weeks from now?
That makes sense to me. Definitely before the end of June.
Yeah. Any thoughts, Jerry?
17th, fine, 17th or 24th.
Can't do either.
Of course, I don't have my work phone with me, which I would.
What, cause you're out of town, Bill. What works for you?
I can do 19th or the 20th. Or I can probably do the 25th is a maybe for me, but I think that would work.
The 25th, the library's booked. From 11 to 3.
19th is a holiday,
Yeah.
not for the executive staff, but for all of our other staff.
Does that doesn't rule it out though, does it?
Would the library be open?
Does it?
does.
Okay. All right, what about the 20th?
It doesn't matter if the library's open,
I mean, they can open it, yes, but,
because I have keys.
okay. The 20th might be good.
Because I know if that's probably a day where you guys are catching up on your desk work, isn't it?
It can be, yeah.
Yeah.
The library's booked all day the 20th as well.
Oh, geez.
Their ice.
All right, is it booked on the 19th?
Yeah, we are.
Well, if it's just us, then this is no problem, because you're also an executive. Yeah, so I mean, it's not, we're gonna be here.
It's, the 19th, they have, like 11:30 on the 19th.
Let's do that,
11:30 on the 19th.
okay?
As long as I have 3 of you here, we can keep going.
Yeah,
That work for you, Jerry?
That was the 19th?
11:30 on the 19th, yeah.
Sure.
You, Bill?
Yeah,
Okay. Good. All right, well, if that's it, we can wrap it up.
okay.
I make a motion to adjourn.
A second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're done.
Thank you, gentlemen.
I thank you, Scott.